I don't know why I'm smiling. I think it's just because this little Christmas party that we've got going on at the Free Hammers today. This is probably the last show we're going to do before Christmas because Paul is over for the Manchester United game. We're all going to get together and have a little Free Hammers Christmas party on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know whether I'm looking forward to the game or not. We've got loads to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about last night's absolute horror show, Moyes' future. I look forward to Manchester United, our best and worst moments of the year, and look forward to what we're going to get in January. We'll be back. Hello, mate. How's it going? We ain't spoke for a while. We just haven't had time to, get a podcast out for a while, actually. We went through an okay little patch, didn't we? We had the Wolves game where we played quite well and a couple of really good results. And then obviously the horror show at Fulham, we haven't spoke about that. And then last night, mate, Jesus Christ. What can you say, mate? What can you say? Like, I've watched nearly everyone's video just because I wanted to see their reactions to it. Oh, go on, mate. Have the floor.
I said to you, when the teams were announced and you saw our team and you saw Liverpool's team, yeah, we rotated a lot. But, you look at the players that come in, and don't get me wrong, they haven't been amazing recently. But these are all players that have done a job for us, right? Over however long. Fornals, we know Fornals can be a good player. He's done a good job for us.
He's shot, mate. He's shot of confidence.
Benrahma comes in on the left again. We've seen Benrahma have good games. We know he can play. Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson coming in as a left back. He's played there before. Some
people say that they reckon he was our best player yesterday.
Yeah, he's done okay. Mavropanos come in. Mavropanos, he's had some up and down games, but, he's not an awful player. So the players we brought in, I saw a lot of people saying, as soon as the team was announced, we were giving up. I don't know. I didn't think that. I thought, all right, we've rotated fair enough.
I didn't like the midfield.
But then, and the game started, and, we were under pressure. But I said to you, it felt different. It weren't like the first half against Tottenham, where we were literally camped in 2 rows of 4 and just sat and didn't even attempt to play football. We were trying. We just couldn't get out. We couldn't do anything. And because of a poor midfield, we couldn't hold on to the ball. We were trying to play out, but we couldn't. And then, we concede and go 1-0 down. But my up until that point, up until half time, I'm completely done with David Moyes and have been for a long time. But up until half time, I didn't blame anything on David Moyes in that game. I didn't. But at half time, when the whole world could see that it weren't working and it wasn't going to work, you have to make changes at half time. And he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. And that's
when he did get to making the change, again, Paqueta was warming up for about 10 minutes. And it's like, then we concede the second goal and it's all over, isn't it? It's done.
It came too late. The change came too late. There should have been more changes. At half time, it should have been Emerson on, Paqueta on, Ward-Prowse on. Them 3 should have come on at half time. Like you say, our midfield was non-existent. Souček was absolutely awful. This is not only was Souček bad in this game.
Oh, it was a passenger, mate. It was just bypass.
It was the first time I think I've ever seen Souček just give up. Literally give up. I think for 2 of the goals last night, he literally just stood there on the halfway line and watched it happen. I think it was their 3rd goal. He gave the ball away and he literally just stopped and just watched it happen and they scored. He completely gave up. And I don't know. And I agree, mate. That's what should have happened. We should have started our best 11 quarterfinal of a cup. If we'd have won, look at the other teams in it. We've already beat Chelsea this season. Don't get me wrong, yeah, Fulham, right? But over 2 legs, you fancy yourself to have a chance. And then Middlesbrough, Chelsea, we could beat them.
A lot of people have been saying the same thing. I don't get why you rest players for a meaningless. I know we're going the game. I want to see us beat Man United on Saturday, but I'd take a 5-0 loss against Man United to get through that game last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the defenses I saw from people yesterday was, we had to rotate and rest players. Rotate them for what? Rest them for what?
To finish 9th.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to win the league. We're not in any danger of going down. Our next European game ain't until March. What are we resting them for?
I don't get it, mate. I do not get it. I don't even want to go through the goals. First goal, Ben Rama's mistake, and Johnson just let him shoot. It was a great goal. There's no denying it. It was fantastic.
It was a good finish. But Jesus Christ, did we give him enough time to line it up?
But some of the other goals,
it up and walked
literally, was just running the whole way through. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, shocking goals to concede. And like I say, the defence, it was as if our entire backline turned into Roger the Relegator. Just back off, back off, back off, back off. Like they backed off until they were practically standing on the goal line. Nice, great top.
Great top, mate. Brian says tactics were poor. If you sit for Liverpool, you're going to get punished. Yeah, and that Liverpool midfield, listen, they're good players. A lot of them would, someone like Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones would probably get into West Ham's team. But again, if we would have played the Paquetas, the Ward-Prowse and stuff, I do think we would have given them a better game. I'm not saying we would have won. And I think that's what a lot of people keep throwing at people, going, what you saying we would have won? No, it's not about that. I think it would have been more competitive. And if we would have come out of it 1-0 loss with a fighting performance, or even a 2-1 loss fighting performance, it'd be a lot better than sitting there just having our bellies tickled and looking like it was Jared Bowen's birthday testimonial match. Basically, in the end, Liverpool were playing like it was a friendly. It was horrendous.
And that's all they needed to do. We completely gave up. And awful. Yes, I agree. We should have started our strongest team. We didn't. But then if you're not going to start your strongest team, you are going to rotate. When you can clearly see it's not working, you have to change it. And he didn't. He just did not change it. He did not change it at all.
Only positive from that game was Jared Bowen scored an absolute cracker
on his right foot. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, and carries on his fantastic record. But I think you said it before the game, mate. Jurgen Klopp was basically
tapped him up, mate,
flashing his knickers at him. Basically,
he was saying, "Oh yeah, he's my favorite player outside of my own team." So, oh yeah, sick, yeah, brilliant. And then straight to the studio, you got Jamie Redknapp, absolute bellend. Oh yeah, he's a typical Klopp player. He is. I nearly swore there. I can't stand Jamie Redknapp.
But yeah, again, mate, like I know he signed that new contract, but if Klopp does come in for you, mate, with Salah going, he will go in the summer, Salah. I think he'll go for about 150 million to Saudi. Mate, they're going to have money burning an hole in their pocket. And what does it take?
If they come in, mate,
to get him out, 100 million to get him out. If he scored 20 goals, you're looking at £100 million player.
If they come in, he's gone. I don't know what they would pay for him. But yeah, anywhere close to 100 mil, he's gone.
And the way Kudus is playing, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if they went the other way with that and maybe went for Kudus as well.
It's a weird one, but like at the moment, having both of them in the team, they don't really. I mean, obviously Bowen at the moment is playing through the middle. I still think Bowen's better playing on the right, but then obviously that's Kudus' position. So it's kind of weird anyway. If Bowen did go, that would kind of like soften the blow a little bit. You would have Kudus there, but then like you say, you probably only get another 6 months out of him and he'd be gone as well.
Yeah, and the problem is, Paquetá is probably the biggest banker to be going in the summer to Manchester City. So what? You can't sell all of them. Do you know what I mean? You can't go. What was that? £250 million worth of talent there, if not more. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't do it all. But yeah, we're in trouble if we don't get Europe again, which I can't see us doing. And all these rumours today that Moyes might still get a new contract. You may as well just pack up and leave. You're just killing the club with his continuous thing. Let's go in it. Why could we not have done what Liverpool done? Start a couple of young players instead of Oggy, Kalinkassi, potentially. Yeah, Oggy, listen, me and Paul love Oggy, especially Paul with the Italian links and stuff, but he's done, mate, and he's done now. He shouldn't be playing.
Of course
anymore.
He is.
I love the man, but he's done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. His legs are gone. This will obviously be his last season. He'll probably retire. I'd love to see him stay around the club when he does retire. He's been brilliant for us over the years. But yeah, no, he's not. I don't understand what Thilo Kehrer has done, where he didn't even get a start yesterday. He came off the bench, and I thought he actually was one of the players that when he came on, he looked like he was actually trying.
Didn't he? Yeah.
He was the one player who was busting a gut. He nearly got back to catch Salah. Why he didn't start, I
I've
don't
seen a good
know.
video. Someone made a good point that, you know, those players that came in, Benny, Fornells and all that, mate, they know deep in their soul that they could have given a Lionel Messi-esque performance and they still would not be starting against Manchester United on Saturday. So what incentive do those players have, mate, the fringe players?
Yeah, that's the problem with, you know, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, but our squad's not good enough. You know, we've got a good first 11, but then once you go past that, it's not good enough. It's not that they're not good enough. They've been
Ben Rama
mismanaged.
was scoring a penalty in the bloody Europa Conference League final 6 months ago.
They've been mismanaged. Moyes does not know how to manage a squad. He said it himself multiple times. He likes working with a small group of players. He freezes players out. How can you expect, again, you know, and as other people have said, Johnson actually came into the game. He didn't do too bad. But you how can you throw him in? He hasn't barely kicked a ball all season. You're going to throw him into a quarter-final cup tie at Anfield and expect him to just turn it on. Yeah. Same as Fornells and Ben Rama. How do you expect that to happen? Yeah. Madness.
Yeah. And lumping the ball up when you've got Van Dijk there. They're probably the best aerial defender in the world against the thingy.
And then who'd you bring off the bench towards the end of the game? Danny Ings. I bet Klopp was terrified. I bet he was absolutely terrified. Oh God, here comes Danny Ings. Quick, get Van Dijk back on the pitch.
So yeah, mate, really, really, really disappointing. I'm just going to go through some more comments here. 1 of 8K last night. Kudos to Liverpool for me.
Fair play to you, mate, for travelling. I tell you, you should get your money back for that. Absolutely shocking.
Still cannot believe that you would throw a quarterfinal away as we win loads of cup. It is a joke. Moyes out now. Merry Christmas, lads. Merry Christmas to you, mate. Our brilliant away fans deserve more than that. We didn't even compete. Can't even remember a tackle. Kerr has been frozen out. Deserves better. Yeah, absolutely horrendous. One of the worst performances. Is that worse than Fulham? I think it is, mate. Even though it's Liverpool, I think it's worse.
The fact that it was a cup quarter final and we performed like that makes it worse. Yeah, awful. What was it? 27 shots to 2. Took about 75 minutes to have a first shot.
I think TalkSport said it. Our goal expectation was 0.06.
Disgusting.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. Let's move on to David Moyes' future before we talk about Manchester United, mate. He's not going anywhere, is he? That's the problem. It's such a limbo. I said the other day on a channel I was talking, and I was saying, I don't look forward to any game at the moment. There's no excitement towards any game because I don't know whether Moyes' low block's going to come back at any point. You get a beautiful performance like against Wolves, real fast attacking football, the second half against Tottenham. And then, these results have been coming, mate. They've been coming.
Yeah, it really winds me up. One of the guys I used to work with is a Liverpool fan, so I was talking to him last night, which was fun. But other fans don't get it. You know, yes, David Moyes won us a cup. Absolutely won us a cup. Fantastic, phenomenal achievement.
Stabilised the club as well. I'll give him that as well.
Even last night in his post-match interview, he went back to, before tonight, we've won 5 out of the last 7 games or whatever it was, or 7 of the last 9 games. Brilliant. Well done.
Who have we played as well? Brilliant. A good way to look at that, mate, is who have we played and how did we win those games?
Exactly. It's been even he can keep pulling them stats out. We have been shocking for at least the last year and a half.
18 months, yeah.
At least. We have been absolutely shocking. We're horrible to watch. We play terrible football. I know so many people have stopped going. I still watch every single game. But mate.
So do I, mate.
Like you, I don't look forward to it. I don't look forward to it.
I'm not actually looking forward to the football on Saturday, mate. I know, like me and you are both going Man United on Saturday. I'm not looking forward to the football. It's more about, I'm going to see mate, have a drink and all that. The actual football is more of like a chore.
I'll tell you what kills me, mate. And we haven't done a podcast for a few weeks. And, you said to me the other week about doing a podcast. I just said, no, I just don't want to talk about West Ham at the minute. I'm so just like, I don't even get annoyed when we lose anymore. When we lose, that used to be my day ruined. I used to be annoyed, angry. I still get angry, but I'm not now. It's just like,
I think as well, mate. what you're saying there about the getting angry, I think it's also, what is the point of getting angry when
nothing's going to change?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. He's not going to get the sack until the end of the season, or people are saying maybe, when we go out of Europe potentially. But then the new manager is not coming in until the summer. It's not happening.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird. It is so weird because, if you go back to before last night, we were mid-table. I think we were a couple of points off 6th in the league. We're in a League Cup quarterfinal. I say going back to before last night. We're in the knockout stages of the Europa League. Like, if you're just listing these things off, you think this is amazing. But I just can't wait for this season to end.
I can't, mate. I can't.
I just can't wait for this season to end.
We go and win the Europa League, amazing. You know what I mean? It ain't going to happen because there's too many good teams in there. But I just want it done, man. I want, this is what the problem is. You know when people say that, you probably get it yourself, mate, where it's like, oh yeah, what you want pretty football, not win nothing. Like David Moyes is like this messiah that wins cups. Like that was his first cup in over 1,200 games of football, and we should have won it. I think any manager, and I know Nicky got pelters for it on West Ham Fan TV saying that he was joking. He was saying, "Oh, I could win that tournament myself, like as a manager." But any good level manager could have won that tournament with West Ham. No.
Yeah. And you'll see it this year when Villa win it.
Yeah. But look, it just winds me up. Like Unai Emery, like how he's, galvanised that team, fast, flowing, attacking football. Tottenham had their little wobble under Postecoglou a couple of weeks ago. Look at them now again. They're going again. They're going at teams. And their fans are coming out of games, even when they lose, going, well, at least we had a go. You know what I mean? We had a go. We showed a bit. Where West Ham, when we lose, it's just...
Mate, that's the thing. And this is why David Moyes is never a long-term answer, because at the end of the day, listen, we're not in the ballroom. We're not the club's accountants. We're not managing the books. At the end of the day, we all watch football to be entertained. It's entertainment. That's why we watch football. If it weren't for that, no one would bother. We'd just look at the scores at the end of the day.
Because I had an argument with one of my pals in work who's a Chelsea scout about that entertainment. And he went, yeah, but at the end of the day, football is a sport and sport is about winning. So it's not entertainment. What
do we win?
What do you say about that? Yeah.
Like, listen, like I say, for the people in charge of the clubs and all the rest of it, yeah, okay. But you say football's about winning, and listen, to an extent, I agree. If you're not in it to win it, what's the point in even being in it in the first place? Yeah, okay, obviously. But West Ham are not going to win the Premier League. We're not.
Never.
We're not going to win the Premier League. So, obviously, I don't want us.
Not ever going to win the FA Cup either.
No, I don't want. Again, I don't want us to go gung ho and like lose every game 8-4. But at the same time, if the fans are not entertained, they're just going to stop turning up.
Like
what's a club without its fan base?
Someone made a point about yesterday, like, you win that game and you're 2 games away from Wembley. Look how much it meant, mate. And we'll probably talk about that when we talk about our best and worst things of the year. Look how much it meant to win that game. And for you, mate, being there, like a trip to Wembley means a hell of a lot more than beating Manchester United on Saturday, because you've rested a team to apparently win that game. He better win that game on Saturday then. You know what I mean? He better go and win that game. Because what excuse are you going to have then? This mystery bug that everyone keeps talking about, yet the people with the bug were on the coach with those people. It's a load of crap.
Yeah.
It's a load of rubbish. Right, Andy Marv says, I don't know where this fan zone is. Lads, come and have a drink at the fan zone before the game. Cheap beer and food and atmosphere. Well, I might just do that, mate. Depends whether Paul can get down on time.
It depends what time I have to get out of bed, mate. What is it, 12 o'clock kickoff?
12:30, mate. So
half 12.
Hopefully we can meet up about, 11, if you can get down for that time.
It'll be decent enough. I'll have to see, mate. Yeah, I'll be down as early as I can.
Yeah. Is it open after the game, Andy, as well? That's another good one. Is the fan zone open after the game? We've been pretty poor in the league since November 2021 when we beat Liverpool 3-2. Yeah, obviously that was Zuma when Zuma scored and got injured in that. I think Oggy got injured in that game. Yeah, I think that's quite a point to make there, actually, that since that day Good. That's it, guys. Moyes has given us apathy. That's appalling, really. My ideal scenario is Eddie Howe gets sacked at the end of the season. We get him. I said that to my Newcastle power work, actually, about that. I would take that all day long. Opens at 9, shuts at 10. It's next to the red slider. Okay, me and Paul will look out for that. Maybe we might see you in there, Andy. Yeah. So that's it for Moyes. Just before I go back to Man United, let's talk about Europe, mate. I know you touched on it a little bit. Since we've met, obviously we did get through, mate, and we put in a really good performance in that Freiburg game. Let's give it credit. It was a really good performance. Through, skip around. Obviously, we don't know who we got. Some big teams went through. AC Milan, Galatasaray. A good achievement. You can't deny it. And it was, it was a slightly harder group this year as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. Good achievement. Went through top of the group. You can't knock it. You absolutely can't knock it. Like you say, we miss the playoff round, which is brilliant. Straight into the knockouts. But it's hard to be optimistic from the way we're playing. And you look at the team. I think it's a much harder competition this year than when we were in it a couple of years ago. Much harder competition.
I think if we got any of the English clubs, Liverpool or Brighton, we're out. Like if we draw them, we're out.
And the thing is, this is the problem with yesterday as well. What if we do draw Liverpool in the Europa? We've basically just already admitted, well, we can't beat them anyway.
Mate, that's going to be another Man City one. 9-0 over 2 legs.
Yeah, like we've basically already admitted, well, we can't even give them a game. Again, Moyes was talking about that yesterday. He's like, oh, well, whenever you come to Liverpool, it's tough. No. So, fantastic achievement. We just hope that, the draw is kind to us. Although if it's not going to be...
Then I want AC Milan, yeah.
Please, AC Milan, please.
Yeah.
Please. I would, mate, a journey to go to San Siro.
And see West Ham play at San Siro, yeah, would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Please, I wanted, when we were in it last time, obviously I wanted Barcelona to go to the new camp, and I went to Barcelona, and then Barcelona lost. So I was watching the game in Barcelona.
But it's free stadiums, as a fan watching European football, you want to see your team play at the new camp, the Bernabeu, and I would say probably is San Siro third, mate.
Allianz as well.
Who?
At the Allianz would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. That'd be amazing, yeah. That'd be amazing. Yeah. I need to score it myself. But the San Siro, that is a real glamour tie in it like that. At one point, PSG was going to drop in, mate, and I was thinking, oh God, I could see Mbappe at the bloody London Stadium. I would definitely
because it's not going to be much longer. It's only another couple of years. I think they were going to knock the San Siro down.
Yeah,
but
it's such an old stadium, and it's really.
They've been told they're not allowed to knock it down, so they're just going to build another new stadium and probably let that one fall down on its own. But yeah, to be able to go and watch West Ham play, that'd be amazing. Unreal.
It would. We'll get battered though. Italian team would be nice. Would also like to see us play Glasgow Rangers as well. I'll tell you one club I do not want, mate, as well. Looking at who's in there, I do not want to play Bayer Leverkusen, mate. See what they did to us in pre-season. They will absolutely smash us to pieces if we got them. All this talk of Xavi Alonso as our next manager. Not a chance. Not a chance. The more it goes on, and the more, that he's riding high on a wave out there and we're on a whimper, why would you come to West Ham?
He's going Real Madrid, mate.
Really good pals with Tim Steedon, and he's like, sees him as like a brother figure or something like that. There is no way Xavi Alonso comes to West Ham.
He'll take over. He'll be at Real Madrid next year with Mbappe.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Man United game, mate. We're going the weekend. They're not great, though, are they?
No.
It's a great time to play them. Let's be fair. Come on.
Yeah, it is. But you're talking about West Ham here. Whenever a team's not playing too well, come and play against West Ham. I said to you yesterday, their striker, what's his name? Højlund?
Yeah, Højlund or something like that.
Whatever his name is. He hasn't scored in the league yet. Lads, put your money on it. All my Christmas money's going on that.
Well, Rashford's having a really bad season as well. Watch him score. Harry Maguire put in the best performance you've ever seen of your life I'll tell you a banker for the game, mate, because where he keeps getting slated. Anthony, you watch Anthony score against us. But yeah, what's going wrong there, mate? What do you make of Man United?
They're just a mess,
as an outsider.
It's really interesting seeing, a manager like Ten Hag, such pedigree, such a high reputation, come in. Just hasn't worked. I mean,
they wasted a hell of a lot of money.
They've spent serious cash, and it's just he just ain't getting the players to perform. I love seeing it. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, definitely. Our generation, grew up with Man United being the best. You know what I mean? And they're horrendous. They're miles off, absolutely miles off. Anyone you fear in that team? Look, going into that game, is there anyone that scares you?
I mean, it's the names that we've just mentioned, just because they have been so poor. We know Martial, is he still there? Like anyone who's not playing too good, come up against West Ham, turn us over. McTominay will probably score against us.
Yeah. He's been playing well. He's been one of their shining lights. Actually, he's been playing sort of in that number 10 role for them, and that's been really, really good for him. Looking at us, then. If he plays that front three, or you could say 4 if you put Ward-Prowse in it as well, we should cause them trouble. Kudus is on fire. Bowen's on fire, as the song goes. Paquetá on his day is unbelievable.
And against a team like Man United, Paquetá will turn up as well.
Yeah, and obviously Emerson's, many channels have said it, and I have to agree, but he's my hammer of the year at the minute.
He's been fantastic. We are such a different team.
Oh, he has to play. He has to play, mate. And, Edson Alvarez as well. Again, he's a lot better in a system where, he can pass the ball about a bit. Is there any changes you want to see in terms of goalie? You've got to say Fabianski ain't done too bad in the 2 games he's been in. None of the goals were really Areola's fault last night.
No, Areola's straight back in for me. We've just given Fabianski an extension, which worries me. That worries me. And I think, again, talking about mismanagement of players, if Areola was out because he was injured, and if he's now lost his place, what's that saying to him? Last year, Fabianski got injured. Areola came in for a couple of games, played well. Soon as Fabianski was fit, he was back in goal. What? Again, it's talking about mismanagement of players.
I don't think he's done anything wrong, though. I don't think he's done anything wrong.
No, but he's he's nearly 40 years old.
I know he's beating me post all the time.
He's not. Fabianski's been phenomenal for us. He has. He's been phenomenal for us. He is not a first choice Premier League goalkeeper anymore. He's not. He just ain't. A lot of people would argue that Areola's not either, although I like Areola. But I think, again, plan for the future. What are you doing bringing Fabianski back in after freezing him out?
But he's got no reason to, mate. Again, it's back to this limbo manager situation. Why is he? He ain't got to think about the future. He ain't got to think about, my Bahamas and all that. He's just thinking of... Basically, I think what David Moyes has got in his mind is get a respectable finish with West Ham, 8th, 9th, possibly, and then he's going to get another job. I think that's what he's looking at, because that's what, when these managers... I think he will replace Roy Hodgson at Palace. I think that's where he'll end up. But yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's what it is. What about defender-wise? Zuma has to come back in, and he's so crucial to everything.
Yeah, Zuma and Agurd back in. Obviously, Emerson back in on the left, and Soufal will play on the right. It'll be the same team that has been playing well the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
What have you made of those two, though, mate? Bowen and Kudus. How good have they been recently?
Oh, phenomenal. Incredible.
What a player Kudus is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, fantastic. Both of them in brilliant form. For Kudus especially, in his first season in the league, he's doing brilliant. He's doing absolutely brilliant. And he's got that pace, and he's got that directness, that we...
Well, someone said it, mate, he reminds him of Mane. When Mane was at Southampton, obviously he's not finished product by any stretch of imagination, but he has got that nasty, raw, he's so strong, loves a shot. Big fan. We'll be very, very lucky to look. I'll keep hold of him, especially if he has good African nations as well. Yeah. Which we will miss him. We will miss him massively in the next few weeks. What do you think, if you had a little prediction then, mate, in terms of the result on Saturday? 2-2.
I'm not optimistic, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me to see us bounce back after such a bad defeat. You know, we did it previously. I definitely don't think we keep a clean sheet because we have only kept one all season. So we definitely concede. I think we scored two. Two was a decent shout. Two was a decent shout. Do you know what? It's Christmas, so I'm going to say 2-1 win.
I think again, I sat nearly every time on the show, but I think again it's down to first goal. I think if West Ham get the first goal, their confidence will be absolutely shattered, and if we can somehow get the second goal fairly quickly, I think it could be game over at 2-0. Where if they get the first goal, you know, they could shut up shop like they did against Liverpool, and we might struggle to get a goal. And then the stadium turns a bit more toxic, and I think it comes down to that. I will talk very quickly about the next game because we won't meet before then, mate. It's Arsenal. That's another one. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
Mate,
that is going to be a massacre.
Yeah, forget that one. Forget that one. Yes, we beat them in the League Cup. What was the point in beating them? Because we surrendered against Liverpool anyway.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it takes away the brilliance of that performance, doesn't it?
Yeah,
as of last night.
But no, I don't see anything from that game.
No, I think that's going to be a horrible, horrible game and ruin my Boxing Day or whenever it is, 29th, I think it is. Then after that, it's Bristol City in the Cup. Right, let's just go through these couple of comments. Leverkusen are undefeated in the Bundesliga in 16 games, 13 wins and 3 draws. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable. If we sit off Manchester United on Saturday, Moyes in trouble. We must start at best 11. He will start it, but it's whether he lets them do what they have been doing with the counter-attack football. Gents, what is your opinion on JWP? Hate the sticks he gets personally. He is not just a set-piece merchant. That's a good question, mate. I like him, mate. I like him. I can see his limitations, but that is because you're, again, playing with Thomas Souček. When it was, I think it was Alvarez, Paquetá, and James Ward-Prowse, when they sort of were both sharing the midfield role at one point a few weeks ago, you could see it was nice, interchanging. He trusted him. Again, it's a bit, he has to cover situations and he's not fully allowed to do what he's allowed to do, but he has got limitations. I'll admit that. But what about you, mate?
Yeah, I agree, mate. The setup doesn't help him. You know, when he started the season, he started absolutely flying.
Yeah, playing at number 10.
Absolutely flying. But then now, you watch him now and he's the deepest midfielder. You know, he sits deeper than Alvarez and Souček. And
what do you make of that as well, mate, with the constantly that Alvarez is the one that comes off and then Souček goes in and fills in at CDM. What do you make of that as well?
Well, I understand Alvarez coming off because he's always on a yellow card.
Yeah.
So I understand Alvarez coming off. If he didn't get booked every single game, then maybe he'd be on the pitch longer. But Souček being the furthest player forward as the number 10 is criminal. Absolutely criminal. Yes, he's popped up with some goals, this season. Fair play to him. He's been scoring goals. But we lose so much of the pitch with him in that position. And you'll see it when you've got Paquetá when he's playing and Emerson, when they're passing it between them up the left side of the pitch.
It's beautiful, yeah.
And then Souček standing there. They don't want to give him the ball because they know he can't do anything with it. No. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. He needs to be deeper. Ward-Prowse needs to be further forward. Ward-Prowse needs to be that furthest player forward. Ideally, Paquetá needs to be the furthest player forward. But yeah, I don't understand his positioning. He's playing him so deep. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. He's playing him so deep, and I don't understand why.
No, that's it. We are going to really miss Karius. Yeah, we definitely are, mate. We love playing Man United at Christmas Day. Remember Anton Ferdinand and Upson scoring, Ronaldo missing a penalty. Rio Coca 1-0. Yeah, that Anton Ferdinand one. That was New Year's Day. I remember that. I was in Lanzarote. That was a brilliant game. That was. Fulham away, disaster. Liverpool away, disaster. Arsenal away, potential massacre, mate. Not disaster, massacre. Let's look forward to January then, mate, before we do our best and worst of the year. January, what do we need, mate? And do you believe any of this? We ain't got no money, or do you reckon that's just all smoke and mirrors to...
I think we'll do something, but
we've got.
I don't think we'll do much. I think it could be 1 in, 1 out sort of situation. You know, they're not going to. It depends as well. I was going to say they're not going to back Moyes when he's probably going in 6 months.
Fabrizio Romano has said keep an eye on West Ham because obviously we know he's pals with Steeden. So Steeden's probably saying, look, oh yeah, we are probably going to go and get this one.
Be interesting to see what happens. We absolutely need a striker still. We need a striker. We desperately need a left winger.
And we need a CDM cover for me.
Yeah. See, we need a defensive midfielder. We could. I'd say we'd probably do with another centre back, but we won't get one. I think we need a right back because there's not really anyone to cover Soufal. We need players all over the pitch. Right back, CDM, left wing striker.
Do you think many will go out the door? Obviously, there's loads of names you could say: Benrahma, Cornet, Ings, maybe Kura as well.
I think we struggle to sell any of them.
Who do you think the most likely is?
I don't think any will go in January. I don't think we would be able to sell Benrahma, Fornells, Cresswell. I don't think we'd be able to sell them. They will probably leave in the summer.
I think Ings could go because there is that big rumour of Ings to Southampton and Carl Walker-Peters to West Ham. And again, that's your right back cover. What do you make of that deal? I like him.
Take it all day long. All day long. Absolutely. Absolutely take that. I can't see it happening, but yeah, absolutely take that. But yeah, I can't really see much happening, to be honest, mate. I can't. You know, I think if I had to say prioritize for me personally,
striker.
I actually think because Bowen's playing there now,
winger.
I think a left wing's more important. I think a left wing's more important now. Stop playing Paqueta there on the left out of position. Move Paqueta inside. Get a proper left winger, someone who can match Bowen and Kudus's energy.
Work rate, yeah.
Yeah, proper left winger. And I think that would make such a difference because we're so unbalanced as a team at the minute. And we have been for a long time. We have been for a long time.
What do you make of the... I can never pronounce this guy's name. Is it Gerussi or Garossi?
Garassi.
Garassi. What do you make of that? I don't think it will come. I don't. I'd love to see it, mate, but I don't think it'll come.
It's a weird one. I think, first of all, I don't know if maybe he would come to West Ham. I don't know, but I think I don't think that we would gamble on him because he's having the absolute season of his life. How much is it going to cost to get him? I know
we can get 17 million buyout clause.
If that's true, it's a no-brainer. If it's true, that's an absolute no-brainer. If you can get him for 17 million, absolute no-brainer. If it's not true, then I don't know how much they'll be looking to get him out of there.
I still would love Timo Werner. I would. And I think he could play on the left wing as well.
He can, yeah. I would. Mate, I said before he joined Chelsea, I've always liked Werner when he was at Leipzig. I think he would suit us really well. I really do because he's a player with a high energy. It's similar. Similar as I say, someone who can match. Yeah, someone who can match the energy of a Bowen. I think Werner is that. Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to see him come in. Although again, I can't see it. I can't see it
either. No. Sorry. I just skipped a comment there. Hopefully someone comes in for Ings. Yeah, hopefully, mate. If we could get a decent left back, would you like Emerson at left? That's a good shout. That is a good shout, actually. Would you do that, mate? If we got a decent left back in, would you be against Emerson at left mid?
I won't be against it, but I think we should be aiming higher than that. I won't be.
No, in terms of if Moyes is staying to the end of the season, that could work. I think to the end of the season.
Yeah, it could do.
He's very direct, and he loves getting forward.
He is. I've said this before, though. I think he links up with Paqueta so well, and he loves cutting inside. I've said this before. I don't know what his crossing's like.
No.
I don't know what his final ball is like into the box because he never really seems to cross it. He loves to cut in. So I don't know.
Score, doesn't he? He always tries to score.
Yeah. And he's brilliant at it. He's brilliant.
Fantastic player, mate. Fantastic. YouTube royalty. Only one worth selling is Kura, as he has some value. Yeah. Yeah, someone like Danny Ings, mate. I know we're all saying here sell him, but who's taking on them 125 grand a week wages, mate? You're not, are you?
I'll tell you what, as well. Talk about Kura. I really like Kura. I'd be quite sad to see him leave. I don't think he's been given a proper chance at West Ham. And I say this, I don't really know what his best position is. I think he's probably best as a right centre back in a free.
Mm.
But I would really like to see him under a different manager just to see what he's about.
I'd like to see him as the CDM cover as an experiment, mate. You know, if you're going to experiment in a game, maybe, you know, you're good on the ball. He can pass the ball quite nicely, and he obviously has got the ability to tackle and enough defensive awareness to play that role. Why not give him a go there? You know what I mean? Syed Benrahma to Saudi Arabia. Mate, if we can get some massive, you know, a Saudi club to pay about 25, 30 million for him, mate, boom, take him. And I've backed Benny for a long, long time, but I don't know if he's done for me. What about you, mate?
You know, mate, anyone who's watched his channel for a long time will know I've never really rated him. He's always missed something. He's always lacked something for me.
Overplays for me.
Yeah.
Overplays.
Yeah.
Like, typical winger. Total typical winger.
Yeah, if he went, I wouldn't be gutted to see him go.
I wouldn't be either. If we got decent fee for him, I wouldn't be that bothered at all. Peter Appel says, missed most of this. Result for Saturday, we said 2-2. Paul said 2-1, mate. But you'll see us Saturday, mate. So you can ask us in person. Someone who can cover Eddie is a priority for me. I agree, mate. I assume this is Gio or Gonzo, I'm not sure. But yeah, I totally agree with you, mate. I got a laugh at last summer when I said Dwight McNeil will be a great left winger. Look what he's doing now at Everton. Yeah. Diaby, who went, I know Diaby plays on the right, but Diaby at Aston Villa, we could have got him if we would have pushed the boat out a little bit more. But I can't deny Kudus is, you know, arguably one of the best right wingers in the league at the minute in terms of form.
It's really weird because, you know, all the noise was that we were in for Harvey Barnes and, you know, a deal was nearly close and then it obviously didn't happen. But then we didn't go after anyone after that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird, mate. It is. Werner would be a good shout. And it is Gio. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for joining the show, mate. Always nice to see you here. All right, then, mate. Last bit we're going to do is our best and worst of the year. Let's start with the worst, because the best is pretty obvious. Let's be fair. the best is obvious, but worst, mate. What should be your worst things of the year? For me, David Moyes carrying on as manager after the final, mate. I think it should have been a wave goodbye.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, and there's been some absolutely horrendous performances. Fulham last night.
I think the first half against
Brighton,
Tottenham.
Brighton 6-1. Was it? Am I imagining that we got absolutely battered towards the end of last season at Brighton? Did I imagine that? Maybe I imagine that.
For me, the first half against Tottenham was one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen West Ham play. That was horrific. And yes, we ended up coming back and winning the game. Fantastic. But that first half, genuinely one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen.
4-0, there we go. Yeah, I knew it was a horrible score, that Brighton game.
Yeah, it's weird because, and this is one of the things we've always said about a David Moyes team. Oh, well, at least these teams don't get spanked. But, mate, we've started shipping 4s and 5s quite regularly now.
Yeah, mate. You know, we used to, you know, under Moyes at one point, it was, you know, we don't ever get our bellies tickled. You know, it's only usually a 1-0 loss. Mate, now, like you say, 4s, 5s, 3s. Even our wins, mate. Our wins recently have been 3-2s. You know, late winners in a 3-2 game or
and again for a supposedly defensive manager, we can't defend. 1 clean sheet all season. Awful statistic. Absolutely shocking. There has been some. The worst part, and you know, we covered it earlier on, and someone said it. Sorry, I can't remember who it was, but it's that the apathy that he's given West Ham fans. That just the fact that, like I say, I don't care anymore. I just want this season finished. I want this season done, finished up. Moyes to wave goodbye, and then let's start again. That's the worst thing that's happened this year for me.
So this is a good one to go on to with the worst. Annie Miles says worst for me is Danny Ings. Who's been your worst player or worst performance? Like, I think Danny is Danny, no? And again, I don't think that's totally his fault to a certain extent.
kind of, yeah. Again, I don't know
Cresswell
if
as well. Cresswell awful. Oh God.
I don't know how much of it is down to him. When he's played most of the time, he's come on and he's been chucked up front on his own, which is never going to work for Danny Ings. But there have been times when he has played in a two and he ain't done anything either. Yeah, I don't know. He just seems like he don't really care either. To be honest, he seems like he's comfortable picking up his wages, sitting on the bench every week. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because he was a good player, Danny Ings. He was, and when we signed him, I actually thought he weren't a bad signing. But
and I know if Gio's in the chat, I know he used to wax lyrical about him every show. He used to go, "Oh, Danny Ings would be a great signing for West Ham. Great signing." It's just unfortunately hasn't worked out, and there's no coincidence, mates, that a lot of strikers don't work out for West Ham at all. What about worst signing? Is it Ings again?
Is it Ings? Is it
Cornet?
Is it Cornet's?
Or was that the summer before? That's a bit later, though, isn't it? It's a bit later.
Yeah. We're going back there, aren't we? Because like you could even say I was going to talk about Skamaka, but obviously he was signed previous. Such a shame.
Let's move on to the best then. Not best night yet, because we know what that is, and we'll wrap up nicely with that to finish on a positive as a West Ham fan. What's your best goal? What's your best goal? That Kudus goal a couple of weeks ago, the scissor kick one.
Sort of scissor kick. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
that was a worldie.
I'm trying to think if there's. It's a shame that
Paqueta's one the other night. Paqueta a few weeks ago in Europe, actually, when we lost that game and he came on and scored that edge of the box scissor kick. Declan Rice's run in Europe against in the semi-final, that was a beautiful goal.
The Bowen goal in the final,
Bowen goal in the final.
It's a shame.
His goal in the semi-final.
That Kudus goal. It's a shame that Garnacho.
Fornals' scorpion kick.
Huh?
Fornals' scorpion.
Yeah.
Remember that one? We fell over a scorpion kick.
There's been some good goals, to be fair.
Yeah, that was a good goal, Andy. That was a really good goal, actually. Antonio versus Chelsea. That was a good goal. That was. Let's just go through some of what you guys are saying here. The 2 goals at Forest and 1 away goal in Europe. And a pre-season against Spurs, 20+ goals like a game. Selling Skamaka was a big disappointment. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Kudus to against Brentford. Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. Best goal for me was Antonio versus Chelsea. This is a good shout. Bowen versus Brighton. Obviously, when Benrahma pinged the ball into him, that first touch, boom. That was a lovely goal. And Bowen's goal in the final, most people are saying. Who's been a player of this 12 months? Not the season, this 12 months, January to December.
It has to be Bowen. Has to be Bowen. You can't argue against that.
What about top 3 then? A top 3?
He hasn't really done it this season, but Paqueta for the first half of this year, absolutely phenomenal.
Outrageous, some of the stuff he can do there.
Yeah. So Paqueta has to be up there.
I think I have to have Emerson, mate. I think I have to have Emerson in there.
Yeah,
I think it's been fantastic. I think it's been fantastic. Every game he plays, he always looks dangerous. He was the best player in the final by a mile. Yeah, those 3 for me. Right, and the best, mate, the best. Let's not talk. Before we talk about that, is there any before that? I think the semi-final, Fornals' goal, that moment was a real moment. That was a proper beautiful moment. That was.
It's gonna. We've been so bad in the league. It has to basically just be that European run. Just that European run.
Sorry, mate, just because someone's put that there, just before we go back to that, player we're forgetting is the name that can't be spoken. Where does he rank, mate, in terms of a top 3, top 5 West Ham players this calendar year?
I'm not saying this to be. I'm not saying this to be bitter because he's gone. Declan Rice was phenomenal for us. He was our best player. There's no doubt about it. But if we're talking about this calendar year, those last 6 months that run up to the final, Declan Rice, I don't think he was brilliant. I don't. I don't. He
No,
was anonymous
I
in the
think
final.
the last sort of 3 months, I think, like the performances against Liverpool away, some really the FA Cup game where it was by himself and he dragged us through it. And listen, I hate the geezer now, but
He had moments, no denying. He had moments, but nah.
what about that in terms of disappointment then of him going? Were you disappointed, or was you like, okay, we got good money for him, so that's
No,
how it is?
I was disappointed because he was our best player, but as soon as the move happened and how he carried himself, and he made it very, very, very clear. Declan Rice realistically didn't care about West Ham. He cared about Declan Rice. He's all about the brand. He's all about himself.
Mm-hmm.
So once it happened, I don't know. He made it very easy for me to not be disappointed anymore. I was just like, well, I'm glad he's gone. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mate. I think that's a fair point. Right, and now let's talk about it, mate. Not only probably the greatest moment of the year, probably my greatest moment as a West Ham fan. One night in Prague, mate. Listen, I've very rarely get emotional, but that just was everything. That is the best day of my life. Still. What about you?
Yeah, surreal to think about, mate. Very surreal to think about. It's weird because I've seen people go. Obviously, I was there. I was at the game. I was in the corner behind the goal where Bowen scored, and we won it. I was right there with all the celebrations, and the team were just right in front of us. And it's a surreal thing. I never thought I'd see. I never thought I'd see West Ham win a trophy.
No, mate.
Never mind a European one.
Yeah.
And it's such a obviously absolutely unbelievable day, unbelievable night. If we're being perfectly honest, the game was crap, but who cares?
It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? It's a moment that will be with me for the rest of my life, forever. I've got so much stuff that I need to get framed, like for the final and stuff, and I'm looking forward to getting that done. But it still
is that
feels...
your greatest West Ham memory? Is that it now?
It has to be. It has to be. What would come?
There's such a romance around Paolo Di Canio. That era.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can talk about eras, and the playoff final. Obviously, we were there, watched us lift. Oh, wow, we lifted the playoff trophy. What did you do? But up until that point, that was the peak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Seeing West Ham at Wembley lifting that in 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. It has to be. Like you say, you can talk about eras and great times and great seasons, but if you're going to talk about a great moment in our lifetime, there's a shout. I was just
going to say that, Gio, myself, because I was there. That is up there, mate. That is without doubt one of the best experiences I've ever had at a West Ham game in my life. In terms of atmosphere.
That's one I wasn't there for. I'm gutted. I'm gutted. I went to the Tottenham game. Which was a couple of weeks before?
Yeah. Well, picky on 1-0.
So I went to that, and then I was thinking about coming over for the last game, and I didn't. Obviously, Man United. I thought I see us beat Tottenham, and I wanted that to be my last memory at Upton Park. I didn't want to ruin it by going to the last game, and then if we lost and all the rest of it, so I didn't go. Guide, I didn't. I wish I did. I wish I went. So yeah, I wasn't there. I was at the final. So
yeah. I'll come back to your comment, Andy. But then I wasn't at the final, so probably
there you go.
Part. But the last game at Upton Park is my best memory. Yeah, I think. Yeah, actual game I was at, Gio. I think I agree with you there, mate. Like that was insane. Like just I always say, walking around the car park. Oh, there's Tony Cottee. There's this one. There's Trevor Booking. There's Russell Brand. Oh, can't say his name on the channel anymore. Ray Winston. Just all these famous people, and it was just like a cup final, like I say, mate. Shame you weren't there, but again, it's a shame I weren't there for the final in Europe. In 2 years now, many academy players. Do you think we will be a squad for us? Sorry, for us, for me, Kalen, Casey Potts, and Marshall Divine Bomber will be gone. Unfortunately, I think they will be if David Moyes stays on, mate. I think, unfortunately, because there's no path into the team for him. And again, Divine Bomber could have scored 25 hat-tricks last night against Liverpool. He would not be starting against Manchester United. How about the greatest moment yet to happen? Moyes leaves. Yeah, let's hope so, mate. That would be New Year's resolution, wouldn't it? We ain't got long. We haven't got long. What is it? January, February, March. That's 7 months, maybe 7, 6, maybe 5. If he goes like Avram Grant, that last game, we might only have 5 more months left of him. Thank God. 2015, 16 was very.
If you're talking about seasons,
amazing, mate.
Yeah, if you're talking about seasons, that was absolutely insane.
It's that or 99, 2000, the Canio.
Again, you took that season, this shirt it's 2000, 2001. Like that era of players that we had was unbelievable. But if you're talking about a whole season, like that 15, 16 season, I felt invincible.
Oh, mate, yeah. I will say as well, mate, one other season that sticks out is the 05-06 season, Pardew.
Yeah.
Mate, I literally, anytime we went 1-0 down, I thought we'd come back and win a game. We had the classic manager word, and it bounce back ability. Like, we were just unreal that year. I know a lot of people, Pardew's a bit Marmite and loves himself, calls himself chocolate or whatever he calls himself. But that was a great season, the Pardew era, wasn't it?
Mate, seconds away from giving us an FA Cup.
Yeah. 100%, mate. A couple more comments, then we're going to wrap it up, guys. We've been going for a little while now. Afternoon, lads. Fury or Usyk? Who you got, lads? I used to be a massive Tyson Fury fan, massive. But I cannot stand the geezer anymore, and I hope he gets slapped. I hope he gets slapped by Usyk, mate. I really do, and I hope that AJ wins on Saturday, Deontay wins on Saturday, and Deontay Wilder absolutely slaps that flash. And I see AJ going like this on the floor. That's what I hope.
Won't happen.
And Usyk takes all the belts and is undisputed world champion by the sort of middle of next year.
I 100% Usyk Fury. It's such a tough one to call. I can't stand Tyson Fury. I think he's an absolute.
And he lost that last fight. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, he's an absolute bum. He talks about legacy. The man's got no legacy. He's got no one on his CV. He's got 2 names on his CV. One of them is one of them is Wilder, and Wilder's got no CV either. Wilder's CV is even worse. So I really hope Usyk does it, but I'm worried about the size difference. It worries me. It does. I think the thing with Ngannou and why he did so well is Fury couldn't push him around. He couldn't lean on him.
No, mate. That's the first time I've seen Fury get bullied, mate. Absolutely pushed.
He just couldn't do it. He couldn't lean on him, but he's going to be able to do that to Usyk.
Yeah. And I think someone made a good point with that Ngannou fight is when a professional boxer fights another person who's not a professional boxer, they're harder to read. They don't make them obvious little twitches.
Yeah,
and,
that's true. But
it's
I'll
things
tell you
like
what,
that. But he still shouldn't have lost that fight. He should not have lost that fight.
Ngannou really surprised me how good he was. He really surprised me how good he was. I genuinely, I'm not saying he would win, but he could easily go in with any of the top heavyweights, easy, and not look out of place.
Mate, I think he'd beat most of the British boys. The Bois, Joyce, people like that. I think he'd beat most of them. I really do.
So, but yeah, and then like you say, AJ Wilder. Personally, I know you hate AJ. I'm a AJ fan. I think AJ beats him pretty easily, if I'm being honest.
Wilder?
Yeah.
Well, if he gets hit by Wilder, he ain't ever getting up, mate.
If he gets hit.
He will hit him.
If he gets hit.
Will catch him. He will catch him.
Mate, I'll tell you what. He needs to be watching out for Joseph Parker more than anyone else.
Yeah. But that geezer that Joshua's fighting on Saturday night, mate, he ain't no mug, mate. He's only lost to Fury, and that was by, in the end, it didn't go his way.
No,
he was beating Fury. He was beating Fury that way.
Both of them are not easy fights. I think AJ beat him twice in the amateurs, obviously different time, long time ago. But I think that's a confidence builder for AJ. He's had that. He's already fought him, beat him a couple of times. I'm pretty sure they've sparred a lot as well. So they kind of know each other's game. It's a weird one. You go back, obviously anything can happen. Look at what happened with what's his name, Ruiz. But this has been both of these fights have been made looking at AJ Wilder next year.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah,
you know,
of course he is, yeah.
So you'd expect both of them to come through, but it should be good fights.
Man City away last game of the season. Will Moyes be allowed on the coach home like Avra? God, that would be funny, mate. Great show, thanks lads, and great show after Christmas. Yes, guys, have a really good Christmas. Have a good New Year. Me and Paul will be back probably just after New Year, potentially. I'll still be, do the build up to Man United. I'm hopefully going to try and do a little vlog, or me and Paul will do a little live reaction on my phone, where we can both go live and talk about the game, something like that. We'll do something on Saturday. But yeah, thanks for staying loyal, guys. Yeah, come on, you irons, keep believing. 5 more months to go of David Moyes, hopefully. Yeah, enjoy your Christmas. Let's go.
Cheers.